Have you ever found yourself adrift in the endless ocean of streaming services, overwhelmed by choice, only to retreat to the familiar shores of a movie you've already seen? You are certainly not alone. In an era dominated by sprawling franchises and blockbuster behemoths, countless cinematic treasures slip quietly beneath the waves, waiting for a curious explorer to find them. This is the very purpose of our journey together, to dive deep and uncover the hidden gems of cinema. In each episode, we cast a spotlight on a film that truly deserves your attention, a movie that may have missed the mainstream fanfare, but is overflowing with passion, creativity, and moments that will stay with you forever. Today, we unearth a film that is more than a movie. It is a moving painting, a grand epic whispered from a hospital bed. A film critics have revered and audiences have cherished in hushed tones for years. The Fall, directed by the visionary Tarsem Singh and released in 2006. If that title doesn't immediately spark recognition, then you are in for an extraordinary discovery. The Fall is not something you merely watch. It is an experience you surrender to, a cinematic pilgrimage that fuses breathtaking visuals with a story of profound, heartbreaking humanity. To understand the scope of this film, you must first understand its creation. The Fall was a labor of love, filmed over 4 years in more than 20 countries. From the sapphire blue city of Jodhpur in India to the ancient deserts of Namibia, from the labyrinthine streets of Prague to the lush, dramatic landscapes of South Africa, every single location is real. Director Tarsem Singh, so fiercely protective of his artistic vision, financed much of the film himself. He sought out the most beautiful, surreal, and untouched corners of our planet, believing that no soundstage or computer-generated effect could ever replicate the authentic wonder of the world itself. But the soul of The Fall lies within its deceptively simple story. We find ourselves in 1920s Los Angeles, inside the quiet confines of a hospital. Here, two broken souls converge. Roy, a Hollywood stuntman, is bedridden and despairing after a fall has left him paralyzed. And Alexandria, a immigrant immigrant girl with a fractured arm, wanders the halls with the boundless curiosity only a child can possess. To pass the time, and with a desperate ulterior motive, Roy begins to spin a fantastical tale for his new friend, an epic saga of 5 mythical heroes on a quest for revenge. This is where the film blossoms. As Roy weaves his story, the sterile white walls of the hospital dissolve into a world of vibrant, impossible beauty. The lines between reality and fantasy blur, as the characters in Roy's epic are modeled after the people Alexandria sees around her. It is a story shaped by a man's heartbreak and filtered through a child's innocent imagination, creating an adventure that mirrors the deep emotional journey of its two protagonists. It is a story within a story, where the power of narrative itself becomes the ultimate hero. At the heart of this tale are 2 unforgettable performances. Lee Pace delivers a masterful portrayal of Roy Walker, capturing the charm, the wit, and the profound pain of a man who has lost everything. He is magnetic even when confined to a bed for the entire film. Yet, it is the young Katinka Antaro as Alexandria who is the film's radiant soul. Her performance is a marvel of authenticity, a testament to Singh's unconventional methods. Much of her dialogue was unscripted, her reactions genuine, creating a pure and unfiltered connection that anchors the entire film in emotional truth. Despite its staggering beauty and critical acclaim, The Fall had a very limited theatrical release and a modest box office return. But, like all true hidden gems, it didn't disappear. Instead, it cultivated a passionate, devoted following over the years. Fans and critics alike celebrate its audacious originality, its visual splendor, and its unwavering commitment to artistry. The legendary critic Roger Ebert awarded it a perfect 4-star rating, calling it one of the most extraordinary films I've ever seen. Once you are swept away by its magic, it is easy to understand why. So prepare yourself as we delve deeper into the two worlds of this remarkable film, the quiet desperation of reality and the boundless wonder of imagination. The story unfolds across two distinct, contrasting canvases. The first is the world of reality, a sun-drenched, sepia-toned hospital in 1920s Los Angeles. The atmosphere is one of stillness and quiet suffering. Here we meet Roy Walker, a man physically and emotionally shattered. His career as a daring stuntman is over, and so, he believes, is his life. His narration is tinged with a deep, consuming melancholy, a voice that has given up on hope. His world has shrunk to the four corners of his hospital bed, a prison of white sheets and painful memories. Into this world of despair wanders Alexandria, a 5-year-old girl with an arm in a cast and a spirit that remains unbroken. She is an immigrant, struggling with the English language, but fluent in the universal language of curiosity. She cannot read, so the world of stories is a place of pure magic, a realm she enters through listening. Her innocence acts as a stark contrast to Roy's cynicism. Their friendship is born of shared confinement and loneliness, an unlikely bond between a man who wants to end his story and a girl who is just beginning hers. Roy sees in Alexandria a tool, a pair of small hands that can fetch him the morphine pills he needs to end his pain for good. And so he offers her the only currency he has left, a story. As Roy begins to speak, the second canvas is revealed, and it is an explosion of life and color. This is the fantastical world of his epic tale, a world that exists entirely in the shared imagination of the storyteller and his audience of one. We are introduced to 5 rogue heroes, a band of brothers united by a singular desire for revenge against the villainous Governor Odious. There is the masked bandit, a dashing hero who is clearly Roy's romanticized alter ego. He is joined by Luigi, a hot-headed Italian explosives expert, a cloaked Indian warrior from a faraway land, Ata Benga, an escaped African slave, and a delightfully eccentric version of the naturalist Charles Darwin, complete with a pet monkey named Wallace. What makes this fantasy world so ingenious is how it's built. The characters are not random creations. They are fantastical interpretations of people from the hospital. The man delivering ice becomes the Indian warrior. An orange picker, Alexandria, becomes Ata Benga. Even the priest is woven into the fabric of the tale. The story is a living, breathing entity. When Alexandria mishears a word, the narrative shifts to accommodate her understanding. When her own experiences bleed into her listening, the story changes course. But as Roy's depression deepens and his true motives become clearer, the vibrant, heroic tale begins to darken, mirroring the turmoil in his own soul. The line between protecting his heroine in the story and manipulating his friend in reality becomes dangerously thin, leading to a climax that is both emotionally devastating and beautifully transcendent. But the story on screen is only half the magic. The story of how this film was made is an epic in itself, filled with dedication, risk, and creative genius. Here are 5 astounding facts that illuminate the monumental effort behind The Fall. First, the film's unique emotional core was achieved through a remarkable piece of method acting, orchestrated by the director. Lee Pace, who played the paralyzed Roy, remained in a wheelchair on set for much of the production. The cast and crew were instructed to treat him as if he were truly a paraplegic. This meant that the young Katinka Untaru, who was only 6 years old when filming began, genuinely believed her co-star could not walk. Her concern, her empathy, and the tender way she interacts with him on screen were not just acting. They were her real, spontaneous reactions. This bold choice forged an authentic bond that radiates from the screen. Second, this film is a testament to artistic independence. Director Tarsem Singh waited over 16 years to make this movie, refusing to compromise his vision for studio demands. When the time came, he poured a significant amount of his own money into the production. This personal investment gave him complete creative control, allowing him to shoot for over 4 years, patiently waiting for the perfect light, the perfect season, and the perfect location. It was a massive gamble, a true passion project in an industry that often prioritizes profit over art. Third, the breathtaking visuals were captured almost entirely in camera, with minimal use of computer-generated imagery. The surreal, dreamlike landscapes are not digital creations. They are real places on Earth. The labyrinthine blue streets belong to Jodhpur, India. The impossibly intricate stepwell is the Chand Baori in Rajasthan. The otherworldly blood-red desert is Sossusvlei in Namibia. The film serves as a global travelogue of the planet's most stunning and bizarre locations, proving that reality can often be far more fantastical than anything we can imagine. Fourth, the screenplay was intentionally kept loose, especially in the hospital scenes between Roy and Alexandria. Tarsem Singh encouraged improvisation to capture the natural, unpredictable rhythm of a conversation between an adult and a child. Many of Alexandria's most charming and poignant lines were created by Katinka Antaru in the moment. This approach allowed her personality to shine through, making her character feel less like a performance and more like a genuine little girl sharing her world with a friend. And fifth, the film's extraordinary costumes were designed by the legendary Aiko Ishioka, an Oscar-winning artist known for her avant-garde and sculptural work. Each costume is a masterpiece, drawing inspiration from sources as diverse as surrealist paintings, ancient tribal wear, and Japanese theater. Darwin's magnificent coat, which opens to reveal a universe of butterflies, or the sinister insect-like armor of Governor Odious' soldiers, are not just clothes. They are pieces of narrative art that deepen the fantasy and tell a story all their own, contributing immeasurably to the film's unforgettable aesthetic. So, what is the lasting legacy of a film like The Fall? It is not a legacy measured in box office receipts or blockbuster status, but in its profound and enduring influence on those who discover it. This film stands as a defiant monument to the power of pure, unadulterated cinema. In an age of green screens and digital armies, its commitment to practical effects and real-world locations feels both timeless and revolutionary. It reminds us that the world is already full of magic if we only know where to look. The film's influence can be seen in the work of other visual storytellers, from music video directors to fashion photographers, who have been inspired by its rich color palette and breathtaking compositions. It has become a benchmark for what is possible when a director's vision is pursued without compromise. For cinephiles, it is a treasured secret, a film passed between friends with the hushed reverence of a great discovery. It proves that a movie doesn't need a 9-figure budget or a massive marketing campaign to leave an indelible mark on your soul. More than anything, the legacy of The Fall is its powerful meditation on the act of storytelling itself. It explores why we tell stories: to escape, to heal, to connect, and sometimes to manipulate. It shows how a narrative can be a lifeline in our darkest moments, a shared space where even the most broken people can become heroes. The film champions the transformative power of a child's imagination, an innocent force capable of reshaping a story of despair into one of hope and redemption. It is a deeply moving tribute to the bond between a storyteller and their listener, and a reminder that the greatest epics can be born from the quietest of whispers. For all these reasons, The Fall is more than a hidden gem. It is a cinematic treasure that absolutely deserves a place on your watch list. Now, we turn the story over to you. We've journeyed through the desolate hospital halls and soared across the vibrant landscapes of an imaginary world. We've met a broken man and a hopeful child, and witnessed how their shared story changed them both. We've also uncovered the incredible true stories behind the making of this cinematic masterpiece. Of all the elements we've explored, which one resonated with you the most? Was it the tragic, complex character of Roy, a man using fantasy to cope with an unbearable reality? Or was it the pure, unwavering spirit of Alexandria, whose innocence ultimately becomes the story's true north? Perhaps you were captivated by one of the 5 heroes of the epic tale, the dashing bandit, the eccentric Darwin, or one of their loyal companions. Or maybe one of the behind-the-scenes facts struck a chord with you. The director's incredible dedication, the genuine bond between the actors, or the stunning reality of the film's locations. Head down to the comments section and let us know. Share which character or fact you found most compelling and why. There are no wrong answers, only a community of fellow film lovers waiting to hear your perspective. We can't wait to read your thoughts and continue the conversation about this unforgettable hidden gem.